Hi, Danny here for another Tips for Toggers, and today I'm going to be talking about aperture. What is aperture? I've got the setting on my camera and I don't even know what it is. Well, here it is in 2 minutes. Aperture is the size of the hole that you leave when you take a photo. So when you press the shutter, the lens will close up and it will leave a hole in the middle, and that will be according to whatever aperture you have set, or the aperture that the camera is setting for itself, and that is the size of the hole. What that means is that is going to determine how much light is going to be let into your camera, but what it also means is how much is actually in focus and how much is blurred in your camera as well. So controlling aperture, if you can understand it, is going to make a massive difference to your photography. So quick review on aperture. First of all, aperture is how wide and how much is in focus. When you're choosing your aperture, then it's an inverse relationship. What does that mean? Don't worry, what it means is the lower the number you have, the less is in focus and the more light that you bring in. So if I have an aperture of 2.8, that means less is going to be in focus. And when I say in focus, I mean in front of and behind your subject, your focal point. So if I choose a low number, that means less is going to be in focus and I'm going to let more light in. What this allows you to do is get creative and choose exactly what it is that's important to you and blur out the stuff that's not important to you. Likewise, on the other end, a high number for your aperture, like f11, means more is going to be in focus. That means less light is going to come into your camera as it narrows that vision and more can be in focus. Picture your eyes. When you're looking at something far away, you might squint like that. You are actually closing up the apertures in your pupils and you're letting less light in order to see further and see in more detail, and it works in exactly the same way. So how do you choose which one you want to use? Well, my rule of thumb is you go for the lowest number aperture possible to get what you need in focus, and you let everything else go out of focus. So if I'm just taking a picture of you as an individual, as a portrait, I might choose, say, f4, and I want everything else behind you to be blurred out, so I'm going to choose as low a number as possible. And if I'm shooting a landscape, I might want lots and lots in focus. So I might choose a very high number for my aperture, like f11, f16, because I want lots in focus. So choose the number that is relevant to what you're shooting and try and choose the lowest number possible to get everything in focus that you need. Have fun with it, play around. There's a setting on your camera. The aperture number that you can shoot at will really depend on the lens that you are using, so you are limited to that range. But check it out on your camera, give it a go, and I can't wait to see the results. Thanks all, and I'll see you again tomorrow for another Tips for Toggers.